Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, and this is A Stable Life. We're starting the morning off here with the horses, specifically the mares. And the mares are hanging close to me. There's Diego. He's gotten a little excited since I've gotten here. Woo! Okay, okay. And here's George. Morning, George. Ooh, so exciting. Hey, Sarah, let's go check on Diego. You're just walking with me, huh? And Diego, oh my word. Look at the mud that he has made from running the fence line. Look at the splash up on the posts. Well, one thing's for certain, horses look hungry, so we better get started feeding them this beautiful morning. Grain and hay's taken care of. It's time to let in these horses. So, shall we? I say, let's. Hey, Bella. There you go, girl. Sarah, over here. It's kind of interesting. Sarah got it first, but she's more interested in exploring now. She knows where her stall is. I think she just likes taking a look around, which I can't fault her for. I get it. Okay, next is Diego. All right. Got Diego in. Now we can get the geldings. It looks like Jack took off his blanket for us last night. Oh yeah, everything's melting as you guys can see. Morning, Rebel. Morning, George. Morning, Jack. Good morning, champ. Snow's just about all melted off, but that means everything's foggy. Temperatures are going up, and then tomorrow they're going back down, and then the week after they're going back up. So we're in the roller coaster. But that's actually kind of normal for this time of year. As we're edging into March, that's expected. Big field time. I'm gonna do a test here and see how Poncho does. There are Suede, Spitfire, Danny, Declan. There's Poncho. I'm just gonna walk with him. Oh, good boy, Poncho. Hey, Tucker. Hey, Sriracha. Here comes Poe, Archer, Gavin, Obi, and Samson and Casino. That's everybody. Boy, that's smooth. Here you are, Buster. Here you are, Rocky. There you go, boys. And how's the donkeys doing today? Looking at their view. That's what they're doing. I think I'll follow suit and do the same. Let's hop on the four-wheeler and see how the hay situation's looking. I have a feeling that there's not going to be a need for as much hay today. But we shall see. It looks like this feeder probably really should be cleaned out and then a round bale put inside it. Looks like they got about another day or so of eating out of it, and then we can clean it out and put a new bale in it tonight or tomorrow morning. Let's see what we got in the big wheel. Still got snow, in case you're wondering. All the areas the horses really aren't traveling too much. Huh. I see something I need to fix. Glad I ventured down here. How this happened. Whoa. Okay. Trying to come at me and attack me. I'm gonna need to come down and turn the fencer off and fix this. This is all messed up. We got a wire over here, and I'm thinking should be a wire somewhere over here. Here we are. Oh, wow, that's the end. Crikey's. Okay, looks like we got some wire we need to fix. That's not why we're down here. We'll take care of that before we turn the horses out, but that's not why we're down here. Check a look at these feeders. I'm seeing hay in the third feeder. Second feeder's looking empty. There's a butt flap. And this feeder's looking empty. Actually eaten down to the ground. Empty, and then a little bit of hay left, but not much. So 1, 2, 3. But is that gonna be enough to take them till Tuesday? I don't think so. I don't think so. So maybe 2, 3, 4. And then they can work on that. That might work. That might work well. And then we can put the 2 or 3 out. This taken care of maybe this afternoon or tomorrow morning. This needs a bale. This needs a bale. Two bales out. That's what we'll do. We'll get 4 bales. We'll put out 2 today, 2 tomorrow. That's our game plan. Now that's handled, I'm gonna go get some pliers and some fencing supplies and turn off the fencer so we can fix this wire. And while I'm up there, I'll start up the tractor. I'll let that warm up. You see how foggy it is out? All the snow is melting and the warm air with the cold ground is making it. And it's very pretty. It's very pretty, but it's very dark. I feel slightly tired this morning. But I know that we'll get through the day nice and good. Oh yeah. Right, Leia? Oh yeah. Okay, so it looks like when this got ripped on, that the wire got pulled off of these 2 insulators here, and then it got pulled underneath this cable. So I need to get this wire up across the top of these 2 insulators here. Probably need to pull that nail out, or take this nail out and put an insulator here so the wire can follow up to there and then straight shot across. I'm thinking that's the plan. Let's make it happen. And of course, it's nice and slippery here. Okay, insulator. That's 1. That's 2. And I think this slide this into the insulator there. It's there. Boy, I fixed it. I didn't even need tools. Yeah, just looks like it got pulled on a little hard. Now, let me check and make sure. Is there any wire touching the post that's not insulated? No, we've got direct connections to right here. Okay, so that part's fixed, and then that will hook like that, and our wire all the way over to here. Okay, where I just need to make this a little tighter and wrap it together. One could put a tensioner on here, which probably would be what I would do, but I need a different hook on this side, otherwise there'd be too much tension. We probably wouldn't get this unlocked. You could do a certain thing that you can hook onto one side and it's like a coil and stretch it across, but that costs money. Whereas this is just labor. Thinking that's good right there. Nice, good high tensile line. You got to be careful with this high tensile wire. This stuff is nasty, especially with how you crimp it, because the horses, well, I mean, if they touch it, they're gonna get shocked. So there is that. If you're potentially thinking about having horses on your property and you're wondering what type of fence you should do, I highly recommend looking into an electric fencer. I don't necessarily think that you need, like, it's not like you can't build a fence that'll keep a horse in that's not an electric fence, but in my experience, your fence will last a lot longer if you have an electric wire running on it, because then the horses aren't rubbing on it, they're not itching on it, they're not, you save yourself all these headaches by just running one wire. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, just something enough to let them know, hey, this isn't a place that you can rest your head. Catch me? Just important thing to think about. There is solar fencers. If you live in an area where you get the sun a lot, they're actually pretty good. My experience, the direct connection where you plug it into an outlet is always best. But remotely, I know sometimes you just don't have those options, and I've heard good things about those solar fencers. I've heard bad things too, but you know, what do they say? The good comes with the bad, right? I've just got this long loop here, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it over, kind of fold it up, and what's nice is I got leverage on my side here. Get this wide enough. I don't know if the camera's catching this because I'm kind of doing this weird, but there we go, got it. And then we can take this, kind of loop it back through and do a double. Yeah, see what I'm doing? And then we're just trying to make it so that there's no sharp edges. Now a tensioner, all you have to do is fasten it on one side and fasten it on the other. And then there's a little tool like a ratchet strap where you tighten it and it compresses it. Good. That would work here. Honestly, it would work here. And hey, I wouldn't be here moving this wire around like this. Just think of that. And you'll notice I am wearing gloves. My experience, never work with high tensile wire without wearing gloves. You're just asking for this thing to go right through your hand when you're doing that. Because this stuff's brutal. Okay, high tensile wire is fixed. That's good again. And you gotta have it tight and have good connections. Otherwise, you potentially could have a section where it's actually sparking, and then down the line you have a weaker electric shock for the horse or animal that you are trying to keep off the fence. But this is fixed now, so this is all good to go. That works good. And the reason why that is as high as it is so the four-wheeler can drive underneath it. and the horses don't go underneath it. Not a general rule. We do have some that would try, but for the most part, the horses don't go underneath it, and it allows you to go through with the four-wheeler without the problem of the horses getting out on you. Now the tractor, I have to completely take it down, which is why I just took it down, because we're gonna get in here with the tractor for some round bales, which is what's next on the agenda. Woo! Okay, fence fixed. Whoop whoop, hay time. And just like that, we have hay all wrapped up and taken care of. Now we're gonna be letting out the horses, and with how foggy everything is, we're gonna go ahead and transition to seeing them all head on out. With one specialty, and that is that we're gonna be turning out Diego. Diego is gonna be out, hopefully for all day, barring any unforeseen problems or occurrences that make their way in. So we'll be turning him out last. That way he has an opportunity to not be attacked or anything like that, and hopefully he'll feel a little bit more comfortable where he can work his way down in and be with the rest of the herd. Well, it looks like the cows got to the camera and licked it off the fence. It's a good spot, but the animals never let me have it there. Anyway, Diego is out here checking out the cows. The more that I'm getting to know Diego, the more that I think his previous life, I don't think the guy ever really had any pasture time. He seems to think and believe that he needs to spend his entire day in the stall. Usually after they're here for a couple days and they realize that all the horses are out in the pastures, they get the hang of it. Now Keith's only been here for a week, so we're giving him time. This is gonna be his first day where he's out for the day with the herd. They're down there playing and eating. So it's gonna be up to him if he wants to be social or not. For any that's curious in regards to the halter, he does have a breakaway halter on, so that's not a problem. Okay, Diego, I'm gonna let you chill. Don't cause any problems. I'm gonna go take care of the mares now. And what's nice is the security system in the stable is able to monitor everything, so I can still check up on Diego even though I'm not physically with Diego, which is nice. All right, ladies, I'm gonna get you some food. And finally, 24 horses are now out of the barn. Well, while the horses are all out there, and Diego is out there now for the longest he's ever been. He's been out for a little over an hour. He is inching his way down, but still long ways away from being down there with the rest of them. I'm gonna work on sweeping up these aisleways, because they look absolutely disgusting. I'm thinking they should look more like this. Now we're talking. I think that looks a lot better. All right. Let's go check in and see how Diego's doing. Not to mention the mares. Tonight, the mares are getting turned back out again. Just so you guys are aware of what we did with the mares. That most recent video was we had them out, but then we had all three of them come back in after they were out for about an hour. We didn't want to push things too much. Tonight is going to be the first night that Bella and Sarah are spending the entire night out in the middle field. Honey is going to be in the lower ring here. We can see Honey's over here sleeping in the hay. Just absolutely adorable. And down there is Sarah and Bella. There's Bella. Sarah's eating out of the round bale feeder. Everything's nice and quiet here at the stable. Looking good, looking good. Tonight, I'm gonna make sure that there's enough hay out there in the middle field so that the geldings don't feel they need to be so protective over the hay, and that the mares are able to get some food. And in the meantime, this also means that we're gonna make sure that there's lots of hay in the stalls. Same for Diego. We gotta make sure there's lots of hay in the stalls for Diego and the mares. Coming over here to the window, there's Diego. He has been pretty much in this area the entirety of the time. He made his way down the hill, and he's been down the hill pretty much staying with the donkeys on the other side of the fence in the big field for the majority of the day. It just so happens that, ooh, he just got shocked by the fence, and away he goes. I can open this up now. I had to close this because he kept trying to get inside the stable. Not trying, but saw that as the opportunity because it was the gate instead of the door. I wanted him to go down there and meet. He hasn't gone down with the rest of the horses yet. What you're seeing is about where he hangs out, right there. That's where he goes. The horses down there have food, so they have no reason. A lot of them came over to meet him already, so they really don't care about his existence really that much. The only time I think they're gonna care about him is if he comes to take their food. That would be about it. And that would be the next process. Once the herd accepts him at that point, and then it's just a matter of where he is in the pecking order. You know, it's just gonna take some time, and we as the stable management, we need to make sure that we do so in a patient manner, because if we force this too quickly, that's how not only the client's horse gets hurt, but other clients' horses get hurt. It is impatience. So it's a patient process. Some horses really take to it really quickly. They can get turned out and it's almost immediate. Poe was a good example of that. Poe, we were able to turn out relatively fast, and he stayed at the bottom of the herd and then slowly worked his way up to where now he's top dog in this herd. This is the furthest he's gone. Now, he would stay at the corner, and then he would stay with the donkeys, and now he's over there with the mares on the other side of that fence. He's hesitant to go down to the round bale feeders, but I'm thinking that as we continue to turn him out in this pasture, it's just a matter of time before he kind of gets used to the process of everything. And a good sign is that the other horses really, they don't mind, and we have enough feeder space down there that he's able to go down there and get food once he so chooses to do so. So that's how things are going with Diego. Of course, we'll get some more footage of the mares tonight when we're turning them out. But it's calm, it's peaceful. Fog's lifting. I'm ready for some sunshine, help dry out this pasture. We've just got mud everywhere. All that snow melting, and then we got rain last night. Water and mud everywhere. Finally, we've reached the point where we can let all the horses in for the afternoon. I'm gonna start with the mares, then we're gonna go to Diego, then we're gonna go to the middle field, then we're gonna go to the big field, then we're gonna go to the donkeys. Got it? Got it. Girl. Come on, Sarah. There you go. Well, that was easy. Walk. Good. None of the other horses in the big field are actually up yet, so I'm just gonna go close that door. Now it's middle field. What's up, Gavin? Come on, George. Move the caboose. Slowly but surely, we make our way through the barn. That's it. All the horses are in. Now all the horses are in. Always waiting on a Poe. All right, next up is the donkeys. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with the donkeys. Okay, well that's all of the horses for afternoon feeding. Now I just gotta put a round bale out in the middle field, and then we'll let the mares out so that they can stretch their legs, and then the geldings, and you know, it's a little slippery out here. All right, guys, I just finished turning out all the horses in the afternoon. Sarah and Bella, those two are the dream team. They are just together. Before I had the camera on, all of them were in that feeder eating, and it was just no issue whatsoever. Sarah and Bella have since decided to come on up here. They got a drink, and now they're kind of just exploring the pasture. They're a little interested in their surroundings, which I get, and Honey's heading down there with them. So I think we are just about finished with the stage of introduction with the mares. We're now going to be moving into the stage of, you know, pecking order. Where are they going to be in the pecking order when it comes to food? So for us as the stable management, we just need to make sure there's enough food that the horses never feel they need to fight for food. So long as we make sure that that's taken care of, the horses really don't have any issues. As for Diego, Diego is in the left run, and that is where he's going to be for the night. Feeder's nice and full. He's got lots of hay, lots of water to make up for the fact that he pretty much didn't eat at all for the day. That is, you know, something he chose to do, but we got to work with what he's choosing to do. So I'm thinking as things move forward, we're probably going to continue to turn out Diego per day until he gets more integrated into the herd. But this is how things stand currently. If you can see, he wore a hole into the side of the pasture here and actually splashed mud up from running and pacing back and forth in this pasture here. Poor guy, he really works himself up hard. I wish we could calm him down more than what we already are doing, but he's got plenty of food and plenty of water. You can see horses on all sides. He's got shelter. And the food that he's eating is also I'm gonna call it a low fire calorie. So he's eating food that does not amp him up, rather it calms him down. I'm thinking that as his system gets integrated into our stable and into our schedule, he will calm down. He is already loads better than he was when he first got here. It's just looking like it's probably gonna take a little bit longer with him than most geldings. Case in point. As for the mares are looking great. I'm actually pretty excited. This is going to be their first night with the geldings, so that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that, looking forward, because we're going to be feeding tomorrow morning, so we're going to get to see them all together. Yeah, that's exciting, guys. And the sun's out. I haven't seen the sun in a while. Just the good times, just the good times. I finished feeding afternoon a little early so that I could study and make sure that all the horses were okay. So that just means we got time to talk, guys. You, me, and Scoots. Right, Scoots, you've been with us all day. Huh? You've been with us all day, haven't you? Haven't you? Haven't you? Come here. Come here. Give me a pet. Give me a pet. Yeah, you a little girl. You are. Well, I've stood here for 40 minutes, just kind of watching the horses. Guys, I think that this is it. I'm going to close the gate. So mares are spending their first night out. It's going to be pretty uneventful, hopefully. We have a security system in, so we can actually check and monitor them from the comfort of our own home, which is actually pretty cool. But it's always one thing to be home and another thing to be here hands-on. But I don't think we're gonna have any issues, so that's great. So it's gonna be on that awesome note that this is where we're drawing an end to the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed. Keeps you up to date on everything taking place this year and with our stable. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.